Retards turned my phone off. Oh my God. The thing is, the timing couldn't have been more perfect because I was just about to start posting stuff that proves that my boys were turned against me. Because I've just posted stuff where I'm having conversations with Chris about sorting the shit out because he was affecting Thomas's mental health, as well as conversations I had with people in the past. A woman called Jennifer, who was the sister of my former student Joanne in Cape Cod. I stayed with Joanne in Cape Cod, and she was my witness to my sexual abuse because she's the one I went to for advice about what to do. And I was in one of the screenshots, I'm relaying a conversation that my son had with me in regards to his father because Chris has started restricting my access to food. I had completely forgotten it was all there. I can't believe the stuff I'm finding. Messages from my boy saying, I believe in you, Mum. And then all of a sudden, they turned on me, and I said they've been brainwashed. He's gotten to them. I can't believe what I've found. And then they switched my phone off just as I was about to put up the other stuff. Morons. So not only have I just powered up again, thank you very much, but I've powered up with the kind of evidence that is absolutely going to guarantee that they not only get arrested for fraud and theft, but for attempted murder and hacking of my bank accounts and identity theft. My evidence has absolutely hands down proven that Elon Musk and Christopher Black and all the rest of them, Peter Thiel, aka Palantir, hacked my life, hacked my identity, and turned my sons against me. The funny thing is, remember the end of Quantum Menace, The Battle of Two Worlds? Look, they're saying I'm not going to have any views, but I know people are listening. But anyway, the end of the Quantum Menace, The Battle of Two Worlds, remember what happens. Aart Morder, who is Elon Musk, and all the people that helped him turn into a robotic Scorpio to try and fight the Quantum Menace, the Illusionist, and Meltdown. And the Illusionist and Meltdown, aka Thomas and Gabriel, pull the canvas back to reveal that it was all an illusion, that it was all a lie. And then they fall into the abyss. Well, they've literally just done that to the point where Gabriel, I've even put up a picture of Gabriel, did a drawing for me calling me legendary, where he drew me looking like Thor, like a Viking warrior with Thor's hammer. Perfect timing, man. They switched my phone off at the perfect time. So, just look at the stuff. Just look at it. I'll put the PayPal stuff in. I'll put the screenshots up as well. I have hands down, legitimately, just absolutely kicked the ass of Elon Musk, Palantir. A lawsuit against Palantir for committing fraud against innocent citizens for whistleblowing on them being pedophiles. They've been literally using their companies to terrorise innocent people's lives, including accessing their bank accounts to stop them from getting money and also stealing money. So, holy crap. So the end of the Quantum Menace, Battle of Two Worlds, when the Quantum Menace lures Morder and his minions into the arena, into the, the Greek arena, the big boss fight at the end, they turn into a Scorpio, a giant Scorpio, and start trying to stab at the Quantum Menace. And Meltdown, who's Thomas, and the Illusionist, who's Gabriel, pull the arena back to show that the arena was fake, that it was all fake, that it was all an illusion. And Aart Morder and the Scorpio, Aart Morder and everyone who forms the Scorpio falls down into the abyss. That's just happened. Whether Thomas and Gabriel realise they did it or not, they've absolutely pulled the veil back, helped me pull the veil back on the entire fraud, including Palantir and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and everybody else, Christopher Black, all of it. It's also proof that Chris was causing Thomas mental health issues, not me. Chris tried to tell the boys that it was me causing the boys mental health issues. I have written evidence that it was Chris, including a conversation I was having to Chris, saying you need to sort your shit out because I'm worried about Thomas's mental health. And then Thomas calling his father a shit stain or something. And then because remember Chris said, if you don't leave me, like, okay, we can break up and everything like that, but if you don't leave with the boys, I'll pay for your board and keep in that, and you can stay and look after the boys because I can't afford childcare and I can't afford to get my own place. So can you just stay here and look after the boys and cook and clean and that, and I'll take care of everything, right? That was the deal until you go to America. And then I have the conversation where he's starting to restrict my food intake because remember I said he was starving me. He was restricting my access to food to control me. And in the conversation I'm saying to Jen, who's a very, very, very well-respected woman in America and New Zealand. She's American, but she lives in New Zealand. Jennifer is Joanne Smith, my former student's sister, and she is very big in the charity circles in New Zealand. She is a very, very, really highly loved, highly respected woman in the New Zealand charity circles. She works with people who were one of her friends who was knighted. He passed away a couple of years ago. And I was having a conversation with her talking about how Chris said I have to start buying my own bread and that because he's teaching me independence, knowing I had no income. I completely forgot that I even had taken screenshots of all these conversations. And then just as I'm getting ready to put it all together, the retards turned my phone off again. And now I've dropped that, and now I am untouchable. I've knocked it out of the park. I'm so big now I can't fit inside the universe. This is also the ending to Message in a Bottle. Remember how he starts feeding the ear because he knows she's getting too big for the bottle, and he knows if she breaks free from the bottle, she's going to, he's not going to be able to make money off her. So he tries to feed her air to breathe in the bottle because she's getting too. But she starts singing and it smashes the bottle. And then when she stands up, everybody sees that she was protecting children under her grass skirt. And Tardowski gets dragged by his feet to the courts. Well, now you're seeing in these screenshots, I was trying to protect my sons from their father, and my sons knew it, and my sons were on my side. And they were right up until last June. However, this is the perfect ending. They've helped me create the ending to Quantum Menace Battle of Two Worlds. I can't believe how awesomely supernatural and true to quantum magnetics my life is. I have now, not only have I become the cosmic tree, I have now stepped into my role as the quantum menace. Except my son, because they said I was a freedom fighter, right? They were convinced I was like the bravest, strongest woman in the world. Even my pregnant single mums in New Zealand called me the barefoot warrior. My son did a drawing of me as Thor. Called me, "You are legendary." You can't make this up. I love my life. So there you go. There's nothing that Chris or his cult or Elon Musk or Peter Thiel or any of them can say or do now to say that I was a threat. Everything proves that I have been a victim of a salacious smear campaign because I was whistleblowing on them being pedophiles and child groomers and sexual predators and thieves and identity thefts and frauds and liars and abusive to children. I have actual proof now that Chris was mentally abusing Thomas. And it can't be denied. So they're messing with my YouTube, by the way. It's going to say I've got no views. It's going to say I've got no hits. It's going to say I've got nothing. They're trying to stop me. Like I had trouble posting stuff before. They're rolling numbers back in that, but don't worry, I know you're listening. So I was right about everything. So I think I just won my court case. And they're going to have to pay me millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. And I just caught Palantir out. And by their own admission, sometimes we have to kill people. Sometimes we have to do things. Well, they did it to me. And now I have the proof. So now Palantir will be involved in the lawsuit. Because they made up things to try and stop me and shut me up. They made up things to threaten me. They literally fabricated evidence against me to smear my name in order to get away with being pedophiles and sex traffickers. And now I've just, because they just switched my phone off, God's pulled the veil back a little bit more, and now they're falling into the abyss with the help of my sons. Making Quantum Menace 2 real. They just brought it to life, made it real life. And I've already undone Quantum Menace 3, the conception of Heracles, he's already been undone. Trump has already been undone. I went back 1,000 years to undo him. So yay! This is what winning looks like. When you need nothing, you don't need billions, you don't need AI, you don't need Palantir, you don't need any of that stuff. All you need is faith and an understanding of physics that God and the ancestors allow you to have because you have faith. Because I always do the right thing. I always tell the truth. I always do the right thing. And as a consequence, I've now taken down presidents and billionaires, mate. This is awesome. I'll be waiting for news now that I've won my court case. This also proves that if they've done it to me, they would have done it to Vladimir Putin as well. Fabricated evidence against him. And because remember I said they were fabricating evidence against King Charles and his family? Remember I said those photos of Andrew, some of them looked fake? Well, if they did it to me, who's to say they didn't do it to the king and his family, eh? Robot lips, fake news. But the thing is that King Charles' own Prime Minister signed Palantir up to do it. That's how threatening I am. That's how scared of me they are, which goes to show how powerful I am. Because why would you just pick on an ordinary, everyday single mum who had nothing to do with nothing, who just wanted to build a art school, if I wasn't powerful? But every time they threaten me or challenge me, it just makes me even more powerful because I stood in my truth the whole time, knowing that they were fabricating stuff to turn everyone against me. I still stood in my truth, and I stood in love, and I stood in faith. And now I've just made all those doctors at the NHS and all those cops at West Yorkshire Police look like absolute idiots because they believed the lies. And this is what I keep saying, I need to rescue my boys because he's abusing them and they don't even realise he's doing it. So I know you're all listening, so it's okay. Quantum magnetics, eh? If this doesn't get it recognised as a legitimate science now, so I'm going to go because I'm expecting someone. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite. I win. Thor.